Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. And I just got back from my trip to Spain yesterday, like not early afternoon, but like early noon sort of thing. That also didn't feel right. I was home at like 11 a.m. And I'm a little bit exhausted. I'm a little bit snotty. Everything is just a little bit of a mess, but I thought what better way to get back to regularly scheduled program than with episode 2 of the shelf sessions. And if you haven't been here before, when I did the first part of this new series I haven't implemented, the idea is to get the books off this TBR card and onto the shelves. And the way we do it here specifically is this little TBR jar. I originally got it from this place called Elena's Bookish Gifts, along with a bunch of other cute bookish stuff. It was like YA fantasy TBR jar. She had a bunch of books in it with really fun colored paper, but like I never used it, so I decided to remake it into my own little TBR jar. So I have a bunch of prompts in here. The idea is we pick a prompt, we find a book behind me, read it, and then once we're done with it, we pick another prompt, and we keep going like that. But without further ado, let's pick a book so we can get on with our day here. Okay, I'm a little bit scared. I also put in some new prompts since last time, and I think I only kept in one of the prompts I used last, but we'll come to that if we get it. Okay, you guys can get to see this first, unless I think it's upside down. I'm gonna flip it around. A book that scares me. I feel like I constantly actually pick that one up, and then I'm like, oh. A book that scares me. Honestly, I think most of the books on this this scares me. I mean, there are obviously some that doesn't scare me, like some of the romances and like the Goosebumps books and like Heated Rivalry probably doesn't scare me at all, honestly. A Long Game scares me a little bit, but what does scare me though? I mean, obviously we have our classics. Classics always scare me. We have a Kristen Hanna book. Yeah, we also have The Book Thief, which is thick. It's so thick. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's read The Book Thief. You know what? I am trusting whatever to make right for me. Last time we did a video like this, I also was a little bit like about the books we were gonna read, and then I read them and loved them, so we're doing it. So it has been a week. Not in like it's been a rough week or anything. Also kind of has, but just like it's been a week since I filmed the intro for this video, and we have yet to start The Book Thief. If you're wondering what I've gotten up to, I ended up filming another video of finishing this little horror series I had going on, which is up by now, unless I like edited and hated it. But it should be up by now, and I will make sure to link it somewhere. I just didn't feel like it, and I suppose that kind of proves the point that this is a book I'm scared to read, but I officially feel ready. Yeah, I feel like I need something a little bit heavier, and even though this book still scares the hell out of me, I will be starting it come tomorrow. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys like the quickest update ever, just because I feel like it'd be weird to just continue this vlog without any sort of explanation. So this is your explanation. It's been a week, but we're officially ready to actually get into this video and get into The Book Thief. it is time for like a small update. So let's just get the first thing out of the way. We have a book to add to the physical TBR, and I know what you guys are saying. Isn't this entire idea that you're not supposed to do this? And like, aren't you on a book buying ban? And yes, I am. I did not buy this book. I got a book from my birthday for my mom. I switched around the words there. I got a book for my birthday from my mom that she had just kind of forgotten she had already given me. Not a fiction book, like a traveling book. And I got the same book from her like a year ago, a year and a half, something like that. And so obviously I had to trade it in for something, and I went to the bookstore. I had in mind to look for Abby Jimenez's new book, even though I am so on the fence about it. Wasn't at the bookstore. The only other books that I really looked at were Jeanette McCurdy's like debut fiction novel. I'm not sure again that that's for me, if I'm being completely honest. And then I was looking at the guy who wrote We Used to Live Here, his new book. But I would rather honestly wait and buy that in a year or something when it comes out in a smaller paperback version, hopefully. So instead I was like, let us go for something we have never ever heard about. Sounds interesting. Actually, I bought this because of the cover. Solace House by Will McLean. It reminds me of McLean, Die Hard, but McLean. Let's just say his name is Will McLean, okay? It's contemporary speculative fiction with a hint of mystery, dark academia, gothic vibes. Honestly, again, like I said, it was mostly for the cover. For some reason, I'm obsessed with this cover. And I think it's giving like a great summer read for when I'm not in the mood for like a romance book. And I was looking at ideas for my summer TBR the other day, and I was like, I don't have that many on my physical TBR. Like, a lot of the books on my physical TBR are books where I look at them and I'm like, I'm gonna save that one for fall, which was kind of what I was thinking with The Book Thief, and yet here we are reading it. So maybe we won't push it all the way until fall, who knows. Doesn't matter, but this just sounds really interesting. And I've always said that I want to not like just like left and right buy books just because of their cover, but I want to be better at sometimes just going into a bookstore, looking at the books, reading the back, and being like, this sounds interesting, let's give it a shot. So now to the book we're actually reading, The Book Thief. I am officially, because I was reading in the park earlier, 100 pages into this book. Which, yes, does mean we have 430 something pages left, but still, it's a dent, you know? I'm really enjoying this. I don't have that many like deep, dark thoughts so far, but I could see myself really loving this. I can see myself crying at it and being very upset, but I love sad books, so why wouldn't I end up loving this? So far, I have nothing bad to say about the intro to it. I was scared that it was going to be too like classic, a little bit hard to read, sort of that sort of thing, but honestly, I have fallen right into this. Oh yeah, the story is narrated by Death. It literally says so on the back, it's narrated by Death, but we follow Liesel, who's a 9-year-old girl living with a foster family on Himmel Street, which is in Germany, and it says her parents have been taken away to a concentration camp, but I think we've only heard about her mom. Anyway, so she's living with an adoptive family, foster family, whatever you want to call it, while her mom is at a concentration camp, and already there you can just tell that this is going to be sad. Right now, she doesn't know that, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna find out in the part I'm currently reading. Let's move on with the day. It is, what, like 9:30, which is late for me, at least. You know, I'm fully aware that like it's not late for a lot of people. It's late for me. I had a friend over for a little bit of a reading date. Well, actually, first we watched a bunch of Modern Family and ate pizza, stuff like that. And then we read, and I actually read quite a lot in this. I think, I don't remember where I was when we first sat down. And I'm now on page 269, so a little bit less than 100 pages is what I've read while we were sitting here. Wow, that looks like nothing when you hold it up like this, but trust me, it was a big chunk, and I'm officially exactly halfway through this book. So we have exactly 269 pages left, which I would potentially love to read very, very soon. Not right now, because like I just said, it's late for me, even though I'm a little bit wired. I'm in like this weird in between where I like always am when I've been. Okay, it would have been worse if I'd been at like a party or something, but I'm still feeling it, even though it was just like a cute little social thing. So I'm like a mix between tired and wired. I feel like that's what I already said. But book-wise, because I thought let's do a halfway point now when I am at the halfway mark, and then we'll see. Honestly, in my brain, I'm like 260 pages. That is not that much. I should be able to read that tomorrow. I think my goal for now is to have this book finished Sunday. So that way, Monday we can go into it with new expectations, ready for a new week, for a new book for the new week. Now, back to what I was saying about me loving this book. I am obsessed with this book. Injected into my veins, okay? This is the second book this year I am reading about the Second World War, where I am just eating it up. I am loving it. I am obsessed with it. And like angry that I put it off for as long as I did, or that I let this book scare me. I am still a little bit scared. I'm only halfway through this and I'm still terrified of what is about to happen. Especially because the narrator is kind of alluding to a bunch of stuff that's going to happen, and it all sounds so depressing. We're talking people dying, which obviously, Second World War, people did die, but like we're talking main characters dying. And like obviously there's also some alluding to how our female main character, Liesel, who is such a sweetie pie, will end up, and I'm like, I'm scared, but I'm loving it. I'm loving the writing style is so unique. So I'm loving the fact that the writing style is so unique. All in all, I could not tell you a single thing so far I'm not enjoying about this book. Haven't been bored. I don't have a hard time keeping up, which I said I was scared of it, that it was going to be like more classics written. It's not. It's written very amazingly. It's written very uniquely, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Potential 5-star. Potential to be up there with, so far, my top 2 books of the year, which is The Nightingale and Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil. And now this baby. Obviously, a lot of stuff can happen, as I've seen with how much stuff has low-key happened. And at the same time, I feel like not that much has like happened. And yet it feels like a lot has happened. That was a really weird sentence to say. Didn't make any sense. But that is how I am feeling. So that's how I'm feeling. And I'm obsessed. And the worst part is I knew I would be. That's always the books that I feel like scares me the most, or the books where I'm like, I know I'm gonna give you 5 stars, but I know I'm gonna give you 5 stars because you're going to absolutely break me. And that's how I'm feeling about this book. Also, I love this cover, but the way the book is, it's not a but, the way the book is kind of makes me wish it was more like worn in, you know? Like this kind of book looks like it deserves to look like it has been loved. Like, I kind of want to just break the spine, even though I never break the spine. And, like, I don't need to. Like, okay, I can open it up this much without breaking anything. the title of that chapter scares me, so we're not reading that yet. Also, I didn't film anything about us reading, but I did make it to... I filmed when I made it to part 4, but I'm currently in the middle of part 5. And, yeah. I know how this part is gonna end, because death has already told us, and I am not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to any of it. I'm yapping. I'm yapping and yapping and yapping, and you guys don't need me to keep doing that because we're only halfway through our first book, and I know for a fact that there's already more than 10 minutes of footage, and now there's 10 minutes of me just sitting here yapping, so like 20 minutes of, yeah, not needed. So all in all, really, really loving this. I won't give you guys another talking update until I finish it, but I will, like I said earlier, try to finish this in the next couple of days. The dream would be tomorrow. The goal is for Sunday. All right, remember when we were talking yesterday and I was like, I would love to finish this tomorrow. I don't think that's happening. Maybe I'll finish it Sunday. Yeah, it's 2 p.m. and I am done. I finished this like an hour ago, or I guess it kind of finished me. Yeah, because I was reading outside, you couldn't really tell, but like I was a sobbing mess for the last 50 pages of this book. Yeah, the last like 50 pages of this book. And I was about to be like, I've sat on my thoughts for the past hour. I kind of haven't. I've thought about the book, and I think I will continue to do so for years, probably the rest of my life. Yeah. So in case you guys can't tell, this was not a 5-star. This was a 6-star. When I tell you guys, and I know I might be dramatic about it and I might regret it when I like sit on it even longer, but even now, an hour later, I will still stand by the fact that this might be one of the best books I've ever read. Actually, that I can say for sure. What I was gonna say is that it is the best book I have ever written in my life. Yeah. And that is high praise. I mean, you guys can see how many books I have read over the years, and that's not even including like when I was a kid and stuff like that. And this one might not be the best, like if I was actually to sit down and deep dive into every single book I've read for like a bunch of different reasons, but like if I took some sentimental stuff out of some of the books I've read, this would probably be the best book I've ever read. I wrote a review on Fable right after this, and as always, my Fable is linked down below, and I swear to God, I've never been that poetic before about a book. And yet here I sit with you guys and I'm like, I don't know if I can like gather up my thoughts for like a final review in any way other than just to say, best book I've ever read. One of the best books I've ever read. Let's keep it at that, just so it's not too out there. But this was just... it was a beautiful story, but mostly it was just so tragic and sad. Yeah. Honestly, I don't want to say too much because I already feel like I went a lot into it yesterday, and the ending was just even better than what I was talking about yesterday when I was halfway through. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I was right to be scared of it. So there is that. And you guys, 100%, if you have not read this, need to pick it up and read it right now. Actually, depending on how you're doing mentally, maybe wait until you're doing a little bit better or something, but add it to your list and read it. Because this was so hauntingly beautiful. And I will probably like think about this book until the day I die. It will probably like live inside of me until the day I die. And it is now also, because of the note from my grandmother, one of my most prized possessions ever. I love this book and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we read this. And I'm happy that I waited that 1 week because I feel like now was the right time to do it. It's time to pick another one. My wishes for this one, preferably something a little bit quick and easy. If I could get below 400 pages and, like I said, easy to understand, not too sad, I would be happy with that. I'm scared. I'm so scared. Okay. No, okay, I've lost one. I think, no, there's one there. Okay. What does it say? If you guys can even read it. Under 250 pages. That's actually kind of going to be hard, I think, because 250 is not a lot, but I know which books I had in mind when I wrote this, and low-key could be perfect. 250 pages. Which do I think? This one might be that short. Let's check these through to even make sure they fit into this. First we have Lucky, which I probably should read. 200 and... those the acknowledgements. 232 pages. Fits into the prompt. Frankenstein, I don't even have to look because I'm pretty sure this is under 200 pages. Yeah, Goosebumps, don't have to look, definitely under there. A Man Called Ove, I'm pretty sure it's over that. Oh yeah, it definitely is. It is 294, so not reading that one. And Page Boy by Elliot Page is 265 pages, so close, but like 15 pages above. So this is our 3 options. I think we have to go with this one. Just because this one is so quick and easy that like I could pick it up in a random afternoon, and there's a bigger chance that I might do that than with this one. I've been pushing this one a little bit. I had seen this one 2 times on sale and picked it up, read the back. Taylor Jenkins Reid has a blurb on it, and I was like, it actually sounds kind of interesting. Didn't buy it either times, and then I regretted it, but then it was gone. And then all of a sudden one day it was outside the bookstore on sale again, and I was like, fuck it, I need to get it. So I kind of bought it without ever having heard anything about it. I'm pretty sure it's the lowest rated book on my shelf from Goodreads, and that just kind of put me off again. But I'm like, it's literally, like I just said, below 250 pages. It's literally 232. Like, I could read that in a day, probably. And we already read one book that I've been putting off, so why not add another one to it? it's time for another update because I just hit the halfway mark and I think we might have to finish this book today. It is 7:30 and like I said, we're halfway through the book. We have 116 pages left because we're exactly 116 pages into it. And I just kind of feel like I have to, you know? 50% into this, it is kind of exactly what I was expecting. Like, I'm not obsessed with it. I'm not in love with any of the characters or super connected or anything, but like, I am interested. I am enjoying myself. It's quick and easy. It's fun, you know? And it's like a unique plot. I don't think I've ever heard about a plot like this. So right now she's just like on the run while she has this lottery ticket and she's like trying to figure out what to do. And at the same time we see flashbacks to when she was younger with her dad, who is like the person who got her into being like a con artist. So because the book is kind of like quick, fun, easy, but not anything special, it's kind of hard to like give you guys a long yap session about the book specifically because that is all it is, really. So I'm gonna sit down and keep reading right now, and I'm gonna read as much as possible. I've told myself, depending on how far I make it in the book, at 9 p.m., which is like an hour and a half away, and a part of me thinks I should be done with the book by then, but 9 p.m. is when I the latest have to like go out and brush my teeth and get ready for bed, and then however much we might not have read then, we'll read in bed, or I'll get back out here and read it. So I feel like I don't talk that often in this video, but every single time I have sat down to talk, I look up at the time and all of a sudden I've spoken for 10 freaking minutes. The editing is going to be terrible. I just knew if I didn't talk and gave you guys a 50% update, then this book would take up 2 minutes of the video. So without further ado, let's binge the last half of this book right now. I come to you only a few hours later with another book finished. I don't know what went into me today. Something crazy, obviously. I'm gonna make this kind of quick because there's a party going on next door and there will be until 1 a.m. And I thought it was gonna be fine, but I'm already annoyed. Back to the reading. Lucky. This was okay. It was okay. I'm not gonna shit on it. It is a 2.75 star though. Yeah. I just felt like a lot happened in very few pages, which made it kind of hard to care because it's like, oh great, now something new is happening and I don't actually give a fuck. So for most of the book I was like, this is okay, possibly a 3-star, and then towards the end I was just like, okay, I'm actually kind of just ready for this to wrap up because I don't care. So I think that actually sums up my feelings for this book. I didn't care, but it was okay. I liked the premise of it and I think it could have been done very well. It just wasn't done that well. But for like a less than 250 page book, it packed in a lot of action and it was interesting enough. It kept me intrigued for the entire book, obviously, since I just read it in an afternoon. So we're gonna put that off to the side. Possibly not gonna put it on my shelf, but instead I'm gonna take it to the little free library, just because I have this thing where I'm like, I don't want to keep books that I didn't like. our possible last read of this video. Ooh, this one felt good. As always, you guys get to see it first. I always feel like it's upside down, so I'm just gonna show you guys both sides. Oh, it was upside down. Nature on cover. This one has like flowers on it. I guess that's kind of naturey. Oh. This one certainly has nature on the cover, and it's another book I've been really putting off. This one has a little bit on it, but I know for sure I'm not reading that one. Right now I am kind of leaning towards this one. I just feel like I'm on a roll right now with the heartbreaking books, and like this is like the last big book I have to finish for the spring reading challenge, and then the rest of them are kind of quick and easy. Obviously, if I start the other one tomorrow, you'll see, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna start this one. So, good night, and I will see you all in the morning. Alright, so I'm actually about to go take a shower, so ignore the fact that my hair looks like shit because it is about to be washed. I have kind of a sad update, and I thought I would update you guys before the shower. I'm not enjoying this. Oh. And like, I am almost. Okay, it does not look like anything when I hold the book up, I feel like, but I am almost 100 pages into this, almost 25% into this, and I'm not feeling it. I feel like the first 100 pages of a book is a great way to indicate if I'm gonna like a book. I don't mind slow-paced books. I don't like the type of books where people will be like, oh, but it's a little bit slow in the beginning, but it gets good after page 200. No. I can agree on a slow ending, or like a slow start, but it can't be a bad start, and I'm feeling like this is a bad start. I just feel like the first 100 pages needs to be used to introduce and make you like and care about characters, setting, all of this. Setting, beautiful. Even though I still don't think it's giving what I think of when I think of Kristen Hanna's writing. But we are almost 100 pages in. I don't give a fuck about any of our characters, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't care. I'm not feeling anything when I'm reading any of it. I'm not smiling, laughing, crying, anything. And like, I feel like 100 pages in, I should have like some sort of feelings towards our characters, but I don't. So, yeah. I'm not saying I will never read this. I'm gonna possibly put it back on the cart, possibly not. I think I'm gonna like keep it for a little bit, like I normally do with books that I like soft DNF. Give it a month or two, and if I still don't feel like reading it, then we'll like accept it and get rid of it. For this video though, that does mean we need to change the book. And I could have changed it to In Your Dreams, but I thought, we're of course gonna stick to the nature on cover, but let's also stick to the prompt for the spring reading challenge that I was gonna use the grade alone for. And I was gonna use it for the highest rated book on my TBR. Kind of scared to think about that. So instead we're going to our second highest rated book on my TBR, which also happens to have nature on the cover. a man called Ove. It's not a lot, but I've decided that like the sky and clouds and a little bit of grass is enough. And this one is shorter, so I would hope to have another little bit binge session after my shower first, and then tomorrow I have some friends from school coming over to do some schoolwork, but other than that, no plans. It is, right now it's rainy and gloomy outside. Tomorrow it's not supposed to be rainy, but it's still supposed to be clouded and gloomy, so the perfect weather for binging, specifically this book, because I'm pretty sure it takes place over, at least over some winter time. So let's hope this isn't the same with Kristen Hanna, where it's like, I normally love a Fredrik Backman book and then I read this and I don't enjoy it. I don't think so, no. So I'm gonna take a shower. I am officially halfway, which was in fact my like goal when I first started, was to get halfway today, and I don't think I'm done. Actually, I think we're 51% through it, and we have 143 pages left. And I have this like toxic part of me that's like, we could totally read that before bed. I'm not saying we could, but my new goal, now that we've made it halfway, is to just make it as far as possible. Hopefully enough that I can finish it tomorrow morning. I am really, really enjoying this. I'm not obsessed, and I feel like a part of the reason why I am already connected to the characters is only because I've seen the movie. Not the original Swedish movie, but the American remake with Tom Hanks. And I love that movie. So I'm like picturing that. And therefore, before I even started the book, I already had such a sweet spot for Ove, which is so weird in my brain because in the movie he's called Otto. But I know it's probably just because it's like easier for Americans to say that they changed his name. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know why he's called Otto in the movie and Ove in the book, but I had such a soft spot for him and some of these other characters before then, and there were actually some stuff from the movie that I feel like I'm missing in the book, which I feel like it's always, depending on which order you do things. If you read the book first, you're always gonna think the movie's missing something. But it also counts if you watch the movie first, you're gonna have some things that you think the book is missing. Obviously, I can also sometimes read a book and be like, oh, I wish the movie had done that. But so far with this book, I've more been like, I'm missing some of the stuff that I feel like happened in the movie that I feel like was important to the plot of the movie. That I'm like, it hasn't happened in this one, so how are they gonna like do that? But still, if you try to separate them, which obviously is hard, that's why reading is subjective. We all have different... Wow, that was a lot of hand movements to not say anything. We all have different experiences. Reading different books. And I just wanted to mention the movie because I feel like it is gonna have kind of an effect on what I think of the book. Already super connected to the characters before I even started the book thanks to it. There's also some things I feel like there's missing. It is a really short book. And it's kind of like what I was talking about when we were reading Lucky, where it's like the shorter the book, the less amount of time you have with said characters. So I would say I think if I hadn't seen the movie, I would probably feel a little bit disconnected from these characters. Maybe not Ove, because we do spend like every single page with him and you do get to know him pretty well. But I feel like some of the side characters that I love because of the movie, I would miss knowing more about in this book. If that makes any sense. It does have the Fredrik Backman writing that I love, which is just like so unique. I think I said that when I read My Friends. I was talking so much about how unique his writing style is, and I don't think I've ever read a book that has been like written in the way he does. I'm going to try to get my voice back. I'm going to go brush my teeth, get back in bed, and we're going to see how far we can get in this book, how much of the last 143 pages we can read before I decide to sleep. I'm back to finish off this video, and even though I am holding up 4 books, we didn't actually read 4 books. We did do something else that I personally think is super impressive. I was doing the math yesterday, ignoring the stuff I read in this Sunday, which means that we're only focusing on these 3. I read 795 pages. It was 3 days, but I only counted 2 of the days. Like, this is just the books I read Saturday and yesterday, and not counting the 85 pages I read in this Monday. So like, I did read more over the 3 days, but like, we don't need to include that. We can just say that I read 795 pages in 2 days. So let's start by talking about the last half of A Man Called Ove. I honestly have no newer thoughts. I feel like it kind of continued the way I was talking about in the first half. I really loved the American movie. I am planning on watching the original Swedish movie soon because a lot of the people I talked about with this book love that movie. So obviously maybe when I watch that I'll be like, oh yeah, no, now I see some of the choices. And it sounds so wrong to say anything like this because it's like the book came first. But in my mind, because I watched that movie first, there are some stuff that I feel like I'm missing, or some stuff I feel like was better done in the movie. And I feel like sometimes you can watch a movie first, then read the book and be like, wait, why wasn't this in the movie? So I did end up giving it a 3.75 stars because it is still a beautiful story. I love Fredrik Backman, and I do think that if I, like, in my mind was able to completely pull this in the movie apart, then I would probably have enjoyed this way more. Anyway, all of that to say, we got 4 books off my TBR. Possibly 3 if you guys really think I could love this. But honestly, if I get no comments about it, I'm just gonna get rid of it. So, thank you so much for spending... actually, I think we just spent like about a week together. Because while this one took me a while to read the first half, like I just said, we kind of finished the other ones in 2 days. So thank you so much for spending this week with me, getting a few books off my TBR. If you guys are enjoying the shelf sessions and want to see once I get around to episode 3, please do not forget to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.